Alright everyone, what is going on and welcome back to today's video. In today's video we're going to be going over a sensitivity guide with Operation North Star just around the corner. I thought we'd go back to the basics of Siege and just try and teach you guys sensitivity if you are having problems with your sensitivity and you'd like to figure it out before the new season comes out. So this is like a North Star guide, but it's coming out a little bit before. And that is going to be the goal of this video, just to give you guys some insight into how the sensitivity things works and how you guys can find your own sensitivity. Now, obviously, there are plenty of videos on the internet going on about how the best sensitivity in Rainbow Six Siege, because obviously they use that sensitivity to get to whatever rank they're at. Champion is probably the ones you'd watch. But this is my sensitivity that I've had on the screen just then. It was 3575. But I'm going to go ahead and lower my sensitivity all the way down. And then we're just going to experiment with it, just so I can show you guys how to find your sensitivity in a way that you can strategize in through Terrorist Hunt. So obviously you want to change those two. You want to change your ADS as well. And I'm just going to explain to you guys how it all works, how you can find your own sensitivity. So with that said, if you guys do find this video useful, I really would appreciate it if you leave a like and drop a comment down below on how I helped you out, because that leaves me feedback on what I can do better and worse, and what I'm doing badly if you feel like I didn't help you at just anywhere in the comments, just so I can make better videos in the future. But otherwise, if you do enjoy this video, let me know as well. Leave a like, drop a sub if you're interested in more videos from me. I upload every day here. I also stream every day on Twitch if you're interested in checking that out. Links in the description down below. I'd love to see you guys there. I stream there all the time, 4 hours a day. It would be cool to see some people there. I don't play Siege though, so if you're not interested in that, fair enough. But with that said, let's load up a Terrorist Hunt, and I'm just gonna show you guys how it all works. So let's go. Okay, so I've decided to play Nomad. Seems our Nomad kind of has a little bit of recoil. I'd say I'm pretty decent with her recoil, but that doesn't mean I'm perfect with it. And here is an example of one sensitivity, right? So obviously you can't move at all. If anyone actually plays on one sensitivity, you're an absolute psycho. But if you're playing on one sensitivity and then you try to shoot your gun, you're not going to be able to control it because you don't have enough sensitivity to double down on it. Obviously, you can keep it straight by the looks of it. You can keep Nomad's gun going straight, but you can't pull it down because you don't have that type of sensitivity. So pretty much that summary right there means, really, to control Nomad's gun, you only need one vertical sensitivity, right? You just need to change your horizontal. So let's say we turn this up to 20. Let's see if it's any better now. Okay, terrorists attack you, apparently. I didn't know they actually did that. As you can see, this is not my sensitivity. I'm just trying to bloody practice and I'm getting stitched up. Alright, so let's try this now. As you can see, that literally has nothing to do with anything. Once again, we're still struggling, so you're going to go ahead and go back to your controls. This is not how I'd recommend you find your sensitivity starting from 1, but this is just showing you experimentation. So as you can see, it's still not really doing anything, just not looking good whatsoever. And that's probably because my ADS sensitivity is down. If I experiment more with ADS, then that will probably fix it up, so let's go ahead and do that. So this is just an example of experimentation. Experimentation is the sole way you'll find your own sensitivity. So let's try this now. There you go. ADS is really the important one, as you can see, when it comes to aiming down your sights. So 20 ADS, and I'm able to do that with Nomad's gun. Not bad at all. Definitely not good either. As you can see here, this really has horizontal and vertical help, but they don't really affect your aiming except for ADS, if that makes any sense. So experimentation is very important. So we're going to go ahead and turn this up to 30 now and see if we can do it any better. So let's give it a go. We'll leave the other two sensitivities as it is. And there you go. As you can see, 30 sensitivity is better than 20 sensitivity with these two settings already equipped. So now we can go ahead and turn maybe these two up to 30 and 30 and see if that changes anything in terms of recoil control. As you can see, I lost it a little bit more, but I'd say that's still a pretty consistent. These are still all pretty consistent rounds, I'd say. Once again, to the 30s, I'd say you should be able to control it reasonably if you played the game for a little bit. And this is literally all you have to do to experiment with your sensitivity. Literally all you have to do. It really is a basic thing. And finding your sensitivity really does just consist of this. I've made a few videos on this in my lifetime on YouTube. And I've had a lot of comments. People always say, like, is this even effective? Experimenting with your sensitivity should be the first thing you do if you're looking to get better. I think it's a very important thing that you should be doing. Just experimenting, practicing, all of that really will help you get your aim better. As you can see, literally just doing this and finding a recoil that you feel is appropriate is literally all you have to do. This is my current recoil. It probably is going to look worse than that, but I prefer it so I have more accessibility to do stuff like that. A high horizontal gives you the ability to flick. We'll get into that soon though, but this is my recoil control with this sensitivity. As you can see, I started off a little bit trash, but once I got the hang of it, that's pretty good. That's what I'm used to, so obviously it should be half decent. So next up, obviously there is horizontal sensitivity. Now this is more when you're doing stuff like this, when you're just turning directions. It plays a part in this, and you want to find a horizontal sensitivity that you're comfortable with that pairs up with your ADS to make these holes as small as possible. But you also want something that you feel comfortable with while doing this, while turning directions, while changing directions. And that's what I was talking about before, and that's what we're going to get into now. Obviously, to find something that you're comfortable with, literally to set a point that you want to look at. So say I'm looking in there, and I want to flick to there. So you just want to see if you can control yours and you don't go flying. That was alright. That was good. And this also pairs in with your dead zones as well. If you don't know, your dead zones is like your response time from your triggers. So obviously, if you have a 5 dead zone, you barely have to touch your joystick, and then it will go flying like that. If you have a high dead zone, then you have to fully push your joystick to the right for it to do that. That's just an example. I can't really show it properly without a hand cam, but you want to find a horizontal sensitivity that you feel comfortable with just for movement. So obviously just changing directions, getting somewhat close to where you actually want to go in pretty much one swing. You don't really want to waste time doing swings, because it's not gonna work in a gunfight. Obviously, you just want something that you're comfortable with. Obviously, just to drag across, bam, bam, stuff like that. Just something you feel you will be able to maneuver yourself mechanically with comfortably, and that's the most important thing. In terms of this specific sensitivity, obviously vertical, you don't need as high as the sensitivity because you're not going to find yourself doing this as often, but it is still important for when you're aiming. Obviously your vertical gets used a little bit more there. Obviously that is more ADS, but your vertical does play into it as well, so make sure to keep that in mind. And overall, I'd say that pretty much sums up all of the basic control sensitivities. Obviously you got your controller rotation. I always use classic. I'm just going to go over this a little bit. I wouldn't recommend aim assist at all, but if you feel like you need it. In terms of gadget deployment, drone deployment, always do advanced so you can cancel it out. And that pretty much sums up all of the setting controls. And if you prefer inverted, then I mean go ahead, man. But I don't know how the hell some people do that. I'm completely oblivious to that. Now, in terms of actually utilizing this sensitivity in game practice, which is what we're going to conclude this video on, is you just want to continue to play these terrorist hunts, practice on your practice your crosshair placement, trigger discipline, all that. So we'll go over that one by one. Obviously, your crosshair placement is keeping your crosshair at head level of all the terrorists in a terrorist hunt. This is 100% hands down the best way to practice it. Just booting up a terrorist hunt and trying to aim at people's heads. I don't have my headset on right now, so this might look a little bit rusty. I'm going to run out of ammo as well, so hold on. C4s are deadly when you don't have a headset on, I swear to God. But yeah, you wanna try and read the situations and always try and kill the terrorists at head height. Try and set yourself a goal that in the terrorist hunt you only get kills with headshots, and if you don't kill them with a headshot, then you start again. As you can see, that was bad trigger discipline. We'll get into that soon though. But yeah, just practicing, making sure you're hitting heads only. That is your goal for like 1 or 2 terrorist hunts if you are doing a whole warm-up routine. Next up is trigger discipline. Pretty much the summary of trigger discipline is don't shoot if you don't have to. So say I was wrapping this corner. Here's a better example. Say I was wrapping this corner, you see a cav here, but she's running completely off to the side. I know it's very, let me get rid of that guy. It's very tempting to shoot here, but in an actual game that gives away your position, right? And then you've just given away any sort of stealth that you have because your trigger discipline kind of let you down. It's terrorists and not giving me a break. That was terrible aim. So yeah, if cabs here, try and train yourself. If you see someone here, not to shoot at the cab. You might get the body, and 99 times out of 100, you're probably gonna choke, and that cab's gonna be long gone. And that's not what we want to do. We want to keep it consistent. So yeah, focus on your trigger discipline and terrorist hunts as well. And finally, you just want to work on your overall consistency in recoil control. A good example of bad consistency in recoil control was that dude that I was shooting at before. That was just me completely focusing on talking and just not even focusing on any strategies in terms of controlling recoil. As you can see, it is a major factor, like your sensitivity, in actually getting the kills in terrorist hunt. It's not, recoil control probably isn't everything. If your crosshair placement's good enough, you generally probably won't have to mag dump as often as you probably expect, but still keeping it in mind that recoil control is important, and if you find yourself in a potato battle, that you can still hold a consistent line across the side. As you can see, that was terrible. So let's try that again. Let's try it from, like, this isn't really an accurate distance. Let's try this again. So a good practice to have is to try and keep a straight line while going across. Now this probably you won't pick this up easily at all, but if you can manage to keep a semi-straight line going side to side, that's a good practice to have, because that's what you'll find yourself doing if you're going against actual players who are moving side to side. They're not terrorists just standing still like this, and all you have to do is line them up. A good tip for crosshair placement as well is if you just look straight ahead and then aim in, that's head height. That's literally head height right there. Same with your crouch. If you look straight ahead, aim in, that's head height. It's a good practice to have if you haven't done it. Is there a dude in there? Yep. Longer range is always going to be more difficult. There's nothing you can do about that. The last people are in here 100%. As you can see, I was instantly locked onto their heads just because I was looking straight ahead. And that's literally head height on a terrorist. And there you go. That pretty much sums up everything I'd recommend doing. Definitely recommend, after you find the sensitivity that you want to, just to jump into some terrorist hunt and do all those strategies I was talking about multiple times. Don't combine it all into one terrorist hunt and then call it a day. I was just compiling it for a video. But if you did find this video useful, then that means I've done my job, and hopefully it was. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you did find any sort of use. If you found this completely useless, I do apologize, and let me know what you think I should have included. Maybe put it in the comments if you feel like it, so maybe you can, so if I missed it, people can read the comments and then see what I missed. That's what can be in the comment section down below. Constructive comment section is always nice. But if you didn't enjoy it, I apologize. If you did, I'm glad. Leave a sub if you're interested in more videos from me. I upload every day. If you're interested in checking out my Twitch streams, links in the description down below. I would love to see you guys there. With that said, that sums up everything I have to say. I hope this video was useful. That pretty much is all I can ask for. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Control.